top story on the show this evening. The big NPA cleanup seems to have just begun, with bad loans in the banking system reaching alarming levels, crossing 8 lakh crore rupees as of April this year. The government has certainly got into the act. We learned that the centre is now looking to set up a pricing committee to resolve the bad loan menace that is threatening to further cripple an already sagging economy. The panel, which will have eminent jurists and banking experts as its members, will scrutinize each and every loan default worth over 100 crore rupees and could even recommend haircuts that banks could take to stem the rot.
Already triggered a big debate in banking circles and among economists. While bankers welcome the move, saying that the one-time cleanup is the right cure at a time when credit offtake has come to a knot, many former central bankers and a section of economists believe that loan recovery is best left to bank management since it is purely a commercial decision. The mega ET Now exclusive on the pricing panel on NPA and what it means to banks and the country's economy at large. That's our top story on India Tonight.
8 lakh crore worth of toxic acid is what is ailing India's banking sector. A sluggish economy, global gloom and credit offtake that has come to a virtual halt is what has resulted in swelling bad debt for Indian lenders. Defaulters and bankers have tried to resolve the non-performing assets, but to no avail, because the biggest bone of contention is who should take how much hit. The recent institutional activism from agencies like the CVC, the CAG or even the CBI has made bankers wary of taking haircut decisions, for which they could be hauled up years later. And so, in a decisive move to address the biggest crisis in Indian banking, the government is looking to set up a pricing committee to resolve the non-performing assets. This panel, which will comprise of judicial and banking experts and could look at default cases of over 100 crores each, will not just validate and certify the resolution of NPAs, but make the most controversial decision, which is to decide haircuts that banks will need to take. A decision that officials are shying away from, but a decision that needs to be taken for any meaningful resolution on the bad loan mess. Right now, a host of defaults are stuck with no solution in sight due to the elusive middle ground between banks on one hand and defaulters who need to sell assets and produce cash on the other. The Finance Ministry believes that defaults that have happened on account of the economic downturn will neither leave the lenders nor the borrowers unscathed, and which is why this pricing committee should enable haircuts dispassionately. Sources tell ET Now that the government is likely to make a mention of the pricing committee in the Rajya Sabha during the finance bill passage and also in the Apex Court during the hearing on the KFA loan default. Both moves aimed at giving this committee the executive and the judicial validity that it certainly needs. Experts, meanwhile, are a divided lot. While bankers and those with stressed assets believe that the move will help resolve the NPA crisis, others insist that public sector banks should be empowered to function as commercial entities and take individual decisions. But the truth is that while empowered and absolutely independent banks are the most ideal solution, there is no denying that it isn't the most plausible in sight. And to tide over the existing immediate crisis, a committee that can tackle the issue almost immediately is perhaps a good idea. After all, lower NPAs will mean that banks can lend more, which in turn will spur economic activity and put the virtuous cycle of investments back in motion. Growth, after all, is the most potent remedy for all economic ills that face India right now. Supriya Srinath, ET Now, New Delhi.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/user/ETNow.